Hey everybody, welcome back to theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Once again, that website address is theclinicaltrialsguru.com, where we discuss clinical trials in plain English every single day. We've gotten to the point where we're answering questions, and the majority of our content, or the bulk of our content now, is based on answering questions because we've covered everything we can think of. We've been doing this for just over a year. And so now we've reached a point where we're starting to answer questions, and we like this. It makes our job a little bit easier. Today's question is very interesting. I never got it before, but it's related to our previous question, which is, we talked about how anyone who joins a clinical trial, how their information is confidential and kept private. So another person saw that video and asked, well, why? Why would my information be kept private? And then he went on to ask about injuries and who's responsible if he gets injured in a clinical trial. So this question of why your information is kept confidential, I've actually never heard it before, but it kind of shows that there's still some distrust out there from the general public as far as clinical trials and pharmaceutical companies. Because even something that's meant to protect the study participant, like having your information kept confidential, is often perceived skeptically from the general public. So their immediate question is, well, why is my information kept confidential? Is that to protect the drug companies in case something should happen to me? So the answer is no. The reason why your information is kept confidential is to prevent insurance companies, other doctors, employers, or just other people from discriminating against you because you participated in a clinical trial. It's also, your information is also highly sensitive to the drug company. So if you join a clinical trial, obviously they want to keep that data confidential. But the reason why your personal information is kept confidential is meant to protect you, the study participant. It's not meant to benefit the drug company. Okay, so it's meant to keep insurers away, employers who may discriminate against you because you are taking part of a clinical trial. And by the way, in healthcare in general, there's something called HIPAA, which is HIPAA. And all your private information is also kept confidential in any type of medical setting. So this translates way beyond clinical trials. And that's for many different reasons, but primarily to keep other people from knowing your sensitive information. I mean, you wouldn't want everyone to know that you're going to a clinic for a certain condition, whatever it may be. And, I mean, you may be okay with having people know that, but that's up to you to decide. And so, for the most part, people don't want their private information shared, and that's understood, and that's where HIPAA comes in. And it especially keeps insurance companies away for clinical trials. Now, like I said before, if you do end up in a hospital, your insurance company may then find out that you were in a clinical trial. But as far as just being in a clinical trial, your information is kept strictly confidential, and the question of why is, the reason is not to protect the drug companies, but actually to protect you, to protect your privacy, believe it or not. So, hopefully that answers your question, and for everyone else out there, it just goes to show you that there's still mistrust out there from the general public. Immediately some people think, well, if my private information is kept confidential in a clinical trial, it must be because the drug company wants to benefit from that in some way. And it's not the case. The case is truly to keep you protected, your privacy protected, your private information protected. And it's also just adhering to HIPAA, which applies to all healthcare, way beyond clinical trials. So hopefully this helps answer your question on why your information is kept confidential. Let us know if this actually answers your question. It's kind of a weird question, but I'm glad we're getting questions. So hopefully this helps. Let me know what you think. www.theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Thanks a lot.